We can hold two things at the same time. And this is what we miss. In a situation where, you've lost a loved one, you can hold on to that grief. That's God created you with the process of and the emotions too.
Yeah.
And so I can hold on to that grief and be thankful that I even have those memories because that person was so purposeful or so instrumental in my life, and I wouldn't be who I am. Because if I didn't have them, I wouldn't have the grief either.
Right.
But life is, filled with pain. And so I think that what we have to learn is to hold more than one thing. We live in a world where people fail, pastors fail, let's say. And it's big, and it's, there are people out there that are just all over it, and they are ready to just, they're just ready to bury them.
Right.
Right. And I'm not talking about people that, the consequences for sin are real. People need to, I'm not excusing anybody's behavior, but why people struggle with this is, on one hand, man, this person was really, instrumental in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yet they had a real sin issue. You know what I mean? And I think we haven't learned to hold both of those. Because what we do is we go, well, you have a sin issue. Everything was horrible. I used to remember when, there was a big televangelist. When as a teenager growing up in the big televangelist era, we didn't have social media. It probably would have been far more common like it is today.
Right.
But, one of the biggest missions, a guy would preach in cities and pack out stadiums.
Wow.
I remember going to a stadium to watch this guy preach, and it was intense, like hardcore Jesus loving Christianity, real deal. And then the guy's got all kinds of pornography issues and prostitute. I mean, it just was, and if you're my age, you know who I'm talking about. And it's like we were just baffled for years, like, how does this guy God use this guy?
Yeah.
And he's doing this. And there's still some questions about that, like, like becoming untouchable and all of that. But I will say this. I don't think the people who got saved or the missionaries that he served, or the missions that he created, all just weren't used by God at some level because he had a sin issue.
Right.
And so I think, to get back on the whole grief, and you could feel it. I mean, yesterday when I went there with people, you feel it in the room.
Yeah.
Because there are people struggling.
Totally.
I mean, during the holiday season, loneliness and anxiety and depression all go on the up.
Yeah.
And that's mostly because we're confronted with what we don't have, or we're confronted with painful moments, family, which most of that comes from.
Right.
Or maybe our life's not where we thought it would be at this point, and we thought we'd have a family by now, and we don't. And you could feel it in the room. I mean, every time I talked about this, you could feel like tangibly people just the intensity of that moment. So it's very real. And I think it's important we acknowledge that, because I think some people sit out there and think, I'm the only one who's feeling this way this season. Everybody else is like putting up Christmas lights, and I don't even want to, and I think by acknowledging that, it helps people to realize, like, you're not the only one.
Right.
This is a part of life for all of us on some level. And we can hold that pain in one hand, and like the regret, wish, and hope, and man, I wish I was at a different place.
Yeah.
And be thankful for how God, where he's brought me to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be thankful, for that loved one who's passed. And there, I did. It was amazing because I was walking, and I try to get out and just hang with people in the foyer as much as I can. Sometimes you can't because I'm tired or other things come up. But, I was just one after another, just women in tears, like, older women. Just one lady lost I don't want to be respectful, they're sharing their heart, so I didn't share it in that room, but just loss of children and kids struggling and just devastation,
right?
Just weeping, and I thought, man, and so I don't try to give them an answer or, just believe God. Man, I'm going to give you empathy.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. This is so hard, to deal with. And I will pray for you. And, the God of peace brings you comfort. So, I'd say you can be thankful that I can ask God to give me peace. I mean, there's always something that we can look and be thankful for. And what it does, it helps us just to, I think, balance out that equation in our lives of like, I can hold on to something very painful and be thankful at the same time.